Hi. This is a short series called Questioning a Liberal about the Iranian nuke deal. I think I could come up with a better title than that. How about question liberal about the big giveaway? Yeah, to terrorist Iran again getting nothing in return. I think that's a better title for it. Okay, and when I use my words, I use on this side of my face. When I use the liberals, I use on this side of the face, and this time I'll be using the snobby atheistic accent. Well, snobby atheistic. Yeah, you'll see how I do it. Okay. Oh, okay, wrong one here. Yeah. Yeah. Someone says, I think he's a Mexican. Come on, Grandpa, stop warmongering. You're too old to go war yet. You're eager to send an 18-year-old like myself to meet his maker. Ha ha. I go, who is sending troops to stop Iran? You let Iran have nukes like Oblamer is doing, and you can kiss your cell phone and computer goodbye when an EMP goes off over your country. And now the liberal jumps in. He calls himself the sheeple whisperer. Okay.
If Israel and the U.S. can have nuclear weapons, why shouldn't Iran be able to have them too? Why should they have to make any deal at all? Did the U.S.? Did Israel?
Does America and Israel chant death to their enemies and believe Jesus or the Messiah can only come back if they lob nukes on their enemies, hoping their enemies will lob nukes back at them? I still don't see what you said means this deal Oblamer did is a brilliant deal.
Yes, in fact, I see Americans and Israelis calling for the bombing and invasion of Iran all the time. So there goes your point.
If so, well, why would they do that? Who chanted death to who first? Who held hostages for nearly 2 years first? Yeah.
Who organized a coup against a democratically elected president first? Who shot down an airliner full of civilians first? Iran isn't the one going around bombing and invading countless countries around the world like the U.S. does. So there goes that point too.
Do you think the shoot down of the airliner was on purpose? No.
It doesn't matter with the way the U.S. government handled the aftermath. No apology. The investigation was an obvious cover-up, and the ship's crew and captain received battle citations for the incident. What do you think the U.S. would have done if an Iranian Navy ship had shot down an American commercial plane off the coast of New York? It's clear from history that the U.S. had been more the aggressor against Iran than the other way around.
I bet you feel Iran will peacefully. I bet you feel Iran will be peaceful when it gets nukes. True. Talks of bringing about the 12th Imam with Jesus to kill all the Jews and Christians, only coming back with a nuke exchange with Israel is just talk. True. Well, may be right about Iran. Okay.
Why wouldn't Iran be peaceful? Compared to the U.S. and Israel, Iran has been infinitely more peaceful over the last 50 years. So why wouldn't Iran be allowed to have nukes when those two warmongering governments have them?
Well, does Israel or America chant death to their enemies? You must really think they are joking, true? They really don't mean it when they say that, right?
Yes, I see the Americans calling for the attack, bombing, invasion of Iran all the time, Israelis too. So how is that any different? Why is it okay for the U.S. and Israel to have nukes and agitate for war, but not Iran? I'm still waiting for something resembling a logical answer.
Oh, I take this apart now, yeah.
Yes, I see Americans calling for the attack, bombing, and invasion of Iran all the time, Israelis too. So how is that any different?
If Iran didn't hold American hostages for nearly 2 years, have Marine barracks blown up in Lebanon, chant death to Israel, death to America, call us the Great Satan, kill over 500 U.S. troops in Iraq as American troops tried to bring stability to Iraq, give Hezbollah, which I call Ebola, hundreds of thousands of rockets to threaten Israel with, well, do you think Americans would possibly want war with Iran? Would I think Oblamer is insane or stupid for letting Iran have $150 billion and 24 days to hide stuff? Think, please.
Why is it okay for the U.S. and Israel to have nukes and agitate for war, but not Iran?
How do we agitate for war? When Oblamer gave Iran the store, did it change Iran? Did it stop Iran sending a guy to get a system, a guy to Russia actually, to get a system to shoot down planes that might try to stop them from getting a, quote, peaceful nuke system? Did they chant death to America, Israel, death to America, death to Israel? Did that end? Think, oh zombie Kool-Aid drinker. Think.
I'm still waiting for something resembling a logical answer.
You just got it in the form of questions. That's all.
None of what you said is any worse than what the U.S. has done to Iran over the years.
Such as?
Big government propaganda sponge. You keep pretending that the U.S. is some innocent victim when this whole conflict was started by the U.S. when it organized a coup against Iran's democratically elected president back in the 1950s.
If so, that is now the reason for letting the Twelvers have the bomb and nuke Israel and send an EMP off over America? How so? How does that make it okay?
So why is it okay for the U.S. to have nuclear weapons but not Iran?
Because America doesn't believe Jesus can only come back by setting all of its enemies on fire, like the Twelvers seem to believe.
If Iran didn't hold American hostage for nearly 2 years, have American barracks blown up in Lebanon, chant death to America, death to Israel, calls the Great Satan, kill over 500 U.S. troops in America, or as American troops tried to bring stability to Iraq, give Ebola as you call it, hundreds of thousands of rockets to threaten Israel with, well, do you think Americans would possibly want war with Iran?
Well,
none of that is any worse than what the U.S. has done to Iran over the years.
Such as?
Assassinating leaders.
What leaders in Iran were assassinated?
Shooting commercial airliners down over international airspace.
You mean they shot down more than one? And it was on purpose? Was it on purpose that they did? Yeah.
Funding an army in Iraq and weapons of mass destruction to fight their war against Iran, etc.
How much time do I have left here? Oh, I still have some time, yeah. And why do you think they were doing that? Any guess?
No difference whatsoever, so there goes that point.
Really? So all that you mentioned above makes it okay to send an EMP off over American continent and incinerating Israel so the Mahdi and Jesus can come back and kill all the Jews and Christians when Israeli submarines fire back on Iran and back and forth. Really? Well, that's really something.
How do we agitate for war?
Right, that's what I asked.
Is that a serious question?
What do you think?
How does the U.S. not agitate for war?
I take it that $150 billion and giving Iran 24 days to hide stuff still agitates for a war, true? Really? Yeah.
The U.S. has come in a near constant state of war with for the last decade now.
Gee, how come? Could it be? Well, what could it be? Could it be? Oh, I don't know. Islam?
Before that, it was a string of wars all around the globe. Europe, Korea, Vietnam, Iraq, etc. Compare that with Iran's very peaceful record.
Hezbollah? Where did Hezbollah get its weapons to threaten Israel with? Sounds again that you really believe shouting death to America, death to Israel really is just shouts and nothing else, true?
Yeah, and you say when Oblamer gave Iran the store, did it change Iran?
Right, did it?
What do you think Obama? What do you think Obama gave Iran?
150 billion is nothing. Let them keep the hostages. There's nothing. 24 days to hide evidence of a nuke program and letting Iran use its own inspectors to inspect it is nothing. Really? Yeah.
Iran has the very same right to develop nuclear weapons that every other country does.
If this was 1935 and Germany was given millions of dollars along with the time to hide evidence of building bombs and stuff, would you say the same thing about Germany?
This right isn't given by the U.S.
So, if this was 1935, America would not have the right to try to keep Germany from building a war machine for, quote, peaceful purposes. Really?
Why did you come up with such a ridiculous idea?
Well, again, if this was 1935 and Germany was given millions of dollars along with the time to hide evidence of building bombs and stuff, would you say the same thing about Germany? Let's see, how much time do I have left here? I've got about a minute left here.
Did it, quote, you say, quote, did it stop Iran sending a guy to get a system to shoot down the planes that might try to stop them from getting a peaceful nuke system? It's no different than the air defense system we have to shoot down planes.
Again, do we believe Jesus can only come back if we lob nuclear weapons onto those who don't accept Jesus Christ as their personal Lord and Savior? If Americans do, how come they haven't done so? And again, if this was 1935 and Germany was given millions of dollars along with time to hide evidence of building bombs and stuff, would you say the same thing about Germany?
So why shouldn't Iran be allowed to have some capability? The same capability?
If this was 1935 and Germany was given millions of dollars along with time to hide evidence of building bombs and stuff, would you ask the same question about Germany?
Quote, you say, did the chance of death in America, Israel, and
did it?
I don't know. Did the chance for America and Israel sheeple to bomb and attack Iran end?
I hope not. Ooh.
If not, then you don't have much of a point either.
Which came first? Talk of bombing Iran, or Iran holding Americans as hostages and chanting death to America, death to Israel?
You say you just got it in the form of questions. Don't look now, but every single one of your silly questions just got answered and destroyed.
Oh well, we'll let others read this and see if they agree with you. Okay.
Now, do you think you can logically answer one of mine?
You probably should have asked that at the beginning of this.
Why is it okay for the U.S. and Israel to have nukes and agitate for war?
How did it agitate for war? Did they put Americans in the American embassy and hold them hostage and chant death to America, death to Israel? Let's see, how much time do I have left here? I better end it here. Bye.